What's up YouTube, Facebook? It's Econ Rebel back again. We are doing another live tonight. Just a quick one, just to do a bit of a market update, see what's happening. Say hello to you guys. G'day Stingeon, how you doing? Good to have you back on. Yeah, I'm doing well. It's been a quiet week in crypto. That's what it's been. Not much going on except just FUD. That's all that's happening at the moment. It's all I see in the news. And the price going down. So let's get on with it and have a quick look at the market. So let's go to CoinMarketCap, check it out. So Bitcoin down another 6% today. Ethereum, wow, down 14%, down to $515. Ripple down 10%. Bitcoin Cash down 10% to about $904 now. Litecoin down 9% to 146. Neo at $58 is down 15%. Cardano down nearly 20%. Same with Stellar. Now IOTA up 10% today, so that's definitely bucking the trend there. And IOTA it's $1.24. EOS $4.35, down 15%. And just having a quick look down the top 100, see if anything else crashed. Most of the market was down another 15-20% today. So yeah, basically, you know, we got Bitcoin at 7,700 now. It has been lower than that. So let's have a quick look at the let's have a look at the graph. Let's go into CoinG and have a look at the graph. Alright, so we're just having a quick look at a GDAX, Bitcoin versus USD. Alright, so this is where we're at on the chart. This is just looking at the daily. Let's move this out of the way a little bit. So as you can see, we went, you know, below 6,000 previously. Okay, Sebastian, how you doing? Basically, we've hit this point. And then we've gone back up and almost doubled with Bitcoin nearly to 12,000. Okay, and then we dropped off, tested this low here and back up. Didn't break into a new high. And since then, we've basically seen a drop where we are right now, all the way down to 76. Now, at the moment, all I'm seeing in the news, which I'll cover in a second, I'm just seeing article after article negative. Like maybe, I would say, you know, maybe 5 articles negative and 1 article good. That's the kind of ratio I'm seeing at the moment. But you got to be careful too that just because, like, you don't think that the news is the only, like, don't think the news causes the actual Bitcoin to move or the markets move. That's not always the case. Sometimes people look at the news and then go, oh, that's why the market went down. Okay, but that's not always the case at all. It's basically to do with if there's enough big players in the market, and at the moment this market is small compared to other markets. Okay, so someone can come in and they can affect those markets with Bitcoin. Now I'm not saying they can, you know, cause it to completely crash or whatever, but basically if you have a lot of FUD and then the price is going down because you know, some big players are selling off or shorting or something like that, you know, this is going to cause this to go down, and it always goes down a lot easier than it goes up, that's for sure. So basically we're seeing this go down here. You know, we could see it go down maybe 600. Previously I did talk about, I was at probably at this stage here, I was expecting around about the 13 to 14,000 by March, towards the end of March there. Now at this stage it doesn't look like that's going to turn out to be true, because it basically through March, even if we see, you know, basically something like this, you know, over a 2-week period here, we're going to see basically into April before it tests these highs again. I don't think we're going to see dramatic you know, breakouts or anything like that, because you got to remember it's a different time to this market. Do you remember, this is what you got to look at. Okay, so we're at the 7,600. Let's go back a step. Let's go back to November. Okay, this is when we're hitting new highs in November, and it broke down a bit and then went back up. And basically at this point, which is funny enough where we are right now, at this point, within a few days, that's when the market took off. And essentially, we saw a lot of new people come into the market. We saw just media, it was all over the media. And essentially everyone knew, anyone that didn't know about Bitcoin knew about Bitcoin after this. So, and I believe that that's essentially what happened here with this massive push towards 20k. Now before this stage, even if we go back a bit, you can see that a big move from 1,000 at the beginning of the year all the way up, and when it was hitting, this is what it was like right now. So the price is kind of like here. See how this is the price roughly where it is. This is where the market, people are saying maybe it can't continue up, but the market did continue to go up, and now they think it's crashed and stuff like that, but the truth is we're back at this level right here. Okay, so if you remember what it was like, now there wasn't really much like FUD going on at all. I don't remember seeing basically the negativity. There was nothing negative about Bitcoin that I saw at this time. So basically, everything was going good. Then once it just basically exponential and went up this high, then there was opportunity for it to come down. There's a lot of people that would have been selling here that would have bought a lot earlier, and also there would have been, I heard stories about a lot of people, institutional big money getting into it, and basically riding that wave and then selling off at the top. Okay, and here we are here now. If you have a look at, I'll just talk a little bit about technical analysis. Okay, so you might look at this and go, are we in a trend? So if you're looking at this period here, you'd say, oh, well, that looks like a trend. Okay, and it's easy to put like simple tools for trend. Some of you guys won't get too much into technical analysis. Okay, but you can put like a simple moving average on there. All right, and like the basic one is like a 9-day. Okay, so this little blue line here, I don't know if you can see that one. We might make it a little bit thicker. So make it a little bit thicker here. All right. So basically you can see how this is the average price over 9 days. So basically it adds up the last 9 days of the price, and then that's the average. Okay, so it's always lagging. So you'll find that this will be the price here, but this is the price of the last 9 days. Okay, so at the moment, if you look at the blue line in this period here, you can see that it was trending, trending upwards, and then you had this massive die off here. Now on this short-term trend of like a 9-day, you can see that it is trending downwards. And if you keep going, you can see it crossed over it again, and then it started to go down, just having a look at the shape of it. So basically, on this short-term trend, it's down. Okay, that's like a 9-day. Then they have ones like you'll hear about, we'll just change it to a 200 moving day average. So that's another popular one for like a longer-term trend. Okay, so let's put 200 days in there. So this is the average price over the 200 days. So if you have sort of a long-term view, this is the trend, and as you can see, this is the blue line coming up here. And basically, you can see that the price is above that, and that's in an upward trend. And that's really been happening since it was like at 1,000, okay, all the way right back to nearly 800, okay. So it's been in this, it's been above its 200-day moving average the whole time, and essentially kept on going up and up, and it's only right now that it's touched this 200. Okay, so when we have a look at it now, the trend on this 200 is still up. This still has not rolled over, and started going down the other side for a long-term trend. And this is why charting can be so, you can look at it one way and say, oh, it's an upward trend, or as downward trend. If you have a look at a 200 moving day average, you can see that is an uptrend. It has broken it a couple of times, but this line is still going up, right? And when you have a look at a shorter time frame, like we did before, like 9-day or even 30-day, you'll see that the trend is down. So we'll just change that to 30-day, and you can have a quick look at that. And it's sort of like, I know it seems obvious, but some people have a bit of trouble telling, what the trend is. So this period of time, definitely trending, and now it's quite choppy through the middle. You can see how it's almost just sort of flat and going there. So this is because it's going through this range period here, okay, going this sideways. So at the moment, we are back to what we were basically in, I would say, November. All right, so that's where we're at. Now, what's different with the market? The whole thing is that if you got into this market up here and then you've lost money, then you probably quit the market and get out. If you started early in the year and you're had $1,000 for Bitcoin and it went all the way up here, and let's say you're still holding, currently you'd be 8x times your money currently, okay? And this is what happens. If you had been, the people that hold long term and believe that it's going to go up, they hold, let's say, last year or the year before that, and then it will move up greatly. And then when they get this sort of 50, 60, 70% retracement, yes, it does hurt by looking at the numbers, but overall they still might be up 10, 20, 30x from before. So that's something you got to look at, because if people get into a particular thing like Bitcoin or any other coin, and they get in it early enough, or been holding it long enough, then they get it at a cheaper price. Then when the market does go up and it does retrace, they've still got plenty of profit. Now, you can definitely make more money if you are selling at the top and buying back in. But if you remember rightly, the problem is with Bitcoin, people were trying to basically when it was $1,000, it kept on going up, and people were like, oh, I'll just wait for it to drop a bit and then I'll buy back in. Now, if you did that strategy, there were some parts where it did drop a little bit, but essentially it kept on going, and sometimes it didn't retrace 20 or 30%. It might have only retraced a little bit, and then continued to go up. So there wasn't too many opportunities to buy on the pullbacks, okay? And so if you're waiting for it to, let's say you're in this period here and it went up this high, and you're like thinking, well, I'm going to wait for it to come back down to 2600 or something like that, wait for it to retrace. And it didn't. You might have, this is how far it came back down to 3000, and you were at around the 2600, and then straight after that it took off. So this happened a lot, and unless you were just averaging in, just buying positions regularly at whatever price it was, that's probably the safest method of getting in, okay? And then, of course, if you still were buying, even if you bought at 20k, if you were buying a small amount, then it wouldn't have affected you, because you would have been buying the whole way along to get into that position. So, but if you did buy earlier, then this would have been a great time to sell off. And a lot of us didn't sell off. There were a lot of people that maybe expected this to happen. But I tell you, if it happens again, we'll definitely know, that's for sure. Because I remember distinctly, you would get up in the morning and you look at the market and it just was going up so much. And essentially we're just going, wow, this is crazy. This is going vertical, like this particular bar here. So this was going on, and honestly, that was the time to be selling out. Now, in hindsight, it's easy to say that, but you definitely should have been taking profits, and I should have been taking more profits myself. Okay, now it could have went to 20,000, and then could have dipped a little bit, and then continue to 40,000. We didn't know, and those are sort of things that it's easy to look at the charts and go, oh, well, that's exactly what happened.
But at the time, everything was looking great. But basically, once all the FUD started to hit, it was just, and FUD definitely affects the masses, but not the people that do have a lot of crypto. They're not the masses. They're just the minority that have a large amount of crypto or a large amount of Bitcoin. And so they can definitely affect the price. Even with Mt. Gox, we found out that Mt. Gox was selling. Now, they did argue that they didn't affect the market much, but every time they were selling, the price did move, okay? And depending on whether there was some there to buy, it was whether or not there was buyers in that market. Because I watched the analysis, I read through the analysis of it, and I looked at it and I thought, well, every time they were selling, they were actually selling out to, let's say everyday buyers or people wanting to get into the market. And there was a lot of money they were selling. And they could have done it a different way, but they chose to do it on open markets. So, they put the pressure to sell. Some days it bought, like they argued that it did come back and stuff like that. But it definitely puts selling pressure on there when you go in and you want to sell so much Bitcoin and there's not enough buyers for it. So that probably did affect it, plus all the bad news. All right. So let's see what you guys got in the chat. Let's have a quick look. Sebastian says, when I'm going to start the giveaways. Not going to do those at the moment. Just want to just focus on some content and sort of some education and stuff. I might do the giveaways later, but at the moment I'm going to leave it for the time being. Yeah, so you could argue that the Raju says the whole market's in a bear trend at the moment, okay? And you can argue that. Let's say it could be a short term. This could turn into maybe 12 months or something like that. Don't know. I don't think it will, because I think most of this shakeout was a lot of new people coming in, just getting in and just going crazy and buying whatever. And now we're back to before, I believe, really that happened, before it went crazy. Now, the good thing is that since this period of time, there's so many projects that are happening and being built. So I believe in basically the next 6 months, we're going to see a lot of these projects come out and the actual technology being created and then start to be adopted by people. And so yeah, there's little things like that make easier adoption. There was things that we didn't have before, and like these, the more open it becomes, the easier it is for people to buy crypto and get into it, and the more merchants that are accepting in crypto, then it's going to lead to more adoption of crypto. And previous to this, the number of, like, the general public didn't really know about Bitcoin, but since this year, there's hardly anyone that doesn't know about Bitcoin. Okay, so that's what just with thoughts on this at the moment. So I don't know where the market's going to go at this stage. I still think I'm still bullish on it. Okay, I really don't think we're going to have a bear market for a year, because the last time it really happened was with Mt. Gox, and it didn't have enough. There wasn't enough people that knew about Bitcoin at that stage. But you can't take away the fact that people know about Bitcoin. The difference was it was making headlines every single day and everyone was reporting on it. And then all of a sudden it got to there, and now it was just all negative. So I'm just going to let's have a quick look at the some of the news. Now, I did put some news in the Telegram group, so let me have a quick look here. I just want to go through it. And I want to say hello to some new members. G'day Dan, hey Stingeon, and what else we got in here? Chris, yep, Chris is one of the new members, so I appreciate you guys coming on board. Now, I wanted to go through a couple of things here. Okay, so this first one here, I don't know if you know Amanda B. Johnson. Let's have a quick click on this one. So I watched this video. I'm not going to go through it now, but basically Amanda, she was doing a lot for Dash. She got in early on Dash. I think before it went crazy. It was like, I don't know, maybe a few years ago that she got into Dash. And this this is from the Dash core developers. There's a video, you can check it out. And basically, they're talking, I think it's just on off the podcast or something. I don't think there's too much video on it. But these, basically they talk about what they're doing, the demonstration of this. The code for it is Evolution, and I talked about this previously before, about the Evolution software for Dash. And essentially all they're trying to do is make crypto, as easy to use as PayPal, with like usernames and stuff like that. And also they're talking about running apps on their platform as well. So that's really interesting. You might want to check out that video. So it's good to see development happening with that. Okay, so the next one, I'll have a quick look here. There was the Bread app. Now, if you're not familiar with the Bread app, yeah, with that Telegram link, if you want to join, it's pretty easy, Raju. So you just go to ecomrebel.com, and there's a green, green button that says Join Telegram Group. You just click that button, and that will take you to the group. You just click Join, and that's how easy it is. It's free to join. And it's probably the best way to get in touch with me and everyone else that's into this space. It's just a small group at the moment, but hopefully we'll grow it a bit bigger and have a few more people in there as well. Okay, so Bread. Bread was basically an app. It started out with Bitcoin. Now it's got Bitcoin Cash. I don't have my phone handy. Oh, here it is. Got my phone handy here. And so Bread looks like this. So you put your put a thing in there. So just see if you can see it on the screen. So that's Bread, BRD. Okay. So at the moment it's got Bitcoin. What else has it got? Bitcoin Cash in there, and essentially they're also working on a putting ERC20 tokens in there. So that will be, not very far away. And Bread, I think, let's have a quick look at the price of Bread. I think, well, like most of the coins, it's cheap. Okay. But what's interesting is the development is still going on. So Bread's at 40 cents. Now, I was fortunate enough, I got out of my position in Bread and doubled money on that one at the time. It's now dropped. I think it's nearly half of what it is for ICO. It was around 70 cents at the ICO. It's now 40 cents. So I think I was fortunate enough to sell out about $1.60. It did go a bit higher, but I think I got sold out around about the $1.60 mark, somewhere around here. Okay, but even so, basically they've got a bit of an update on the software. I'll just have to see what information they got here. But these are the things that are going to get people interested. Okay, they got 1 million downloads because they're on, between the Google Play and the App Store. Their revenue is up. They got the buy Bitcoin feature, $20,000 a day. You can buy it with credit card. Now they do charge, I believe, I think it's sort of two fees. It's about 7. I think it's 7%. It's like a 5% fee and a 2.5% fee. Okay, and basically, it does cost a lot of money if you want to use a credit card to get in there. But there's risks involved with that, which is why it costs more. So they've got BCH now, Bitcoin Cash. They've got Sedgwick support. What else? They changed their logo, and they're working on basically putting Ethereum and the ERC20 tokens in there. So that's what their plan is. Now, really, when you look at the market and see what else is there, there's only Jax, which is out there. It's been around for some time. And Jax is essentially just a wallet. But Bread sort of, you can, basically they can buy Bitcoin, and also they're going to have some sort of, with the tokens, they're going to have rewards for that. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But, there's still good things happening with Bread. So it's still worthwhile. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. So here's one, CoinText. Now this hasn't launched yet, I think this is the website. Basically, it's Bitcoin. Sorry, Bitcoin Cash. I'll just go to their website. So it's CoinText.io. Okay. So it's in beta, and you can sign up to join the beta. Anyway, the idea is to do Bitcoin Cash over SMS. So if you have a phone, you want to be able to SMS, you know, check your balance. You can receive and send. And it's got little, you know, shows you how to send and receive. Okay. And there's even like a little video of how it works. I think I'm not sure if it's on this page or not, but or back on their Twitter. But basically, the idea is to be able to, instead of needing like a wallet or anything complicated like that, essentially you just sign up with CoinText and you can use your mobile phone. So I think it's pretty cool, you know, to be able to send and receive through an SMS. Like it makes the technology lower. Now I don't know how they're going to create it, whether it's going to be decentralized or whether it's going to be a centralized server. This is a quick little video here. You know, they don't even need the internet; they just need SMS. Okay, so this is pretty cool. How that will pan out. So I don't know of anyone else doing that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And hopefully it'll take off, and you know, more and more people will use it, because at the moment when you want to share crypto, you have to have the wallet on your phone, then you have to get them to download the wallet, and then you have to transfer, you know, the QR code and stuff like that. But I tell you, if you can send and receive Bitcoin Cash, for example, or any crypto by SMS, that's pretty cool. Now obviously, you know, you're not you are transacting through some sort of server, and maybe there's issues with that, I don't know, but we'll see what happens with that. So that's pretty cool. So you can check out CoinText. Let's have a look what else I saved earlier. Yes, so this one here. So PayPal, yeah, how we all love PayPal, we all use it because it's been around for so long. Warning users of crypto. So now I haven't had anything to say this is not true, but basically this reads that you've been sending and receiving payments to do with cryptocurrency and it's prohibited under our acceptable use policy. It's a copy of there. So now there's no apparently formal statement on this, but it possibly is against their terms of service. I haven't actually double checked that, but the PayPal acceptable use. But it wouldn't surprise me, because they would probably class it. They put a whole bunch of things that you can't do with PayPal, essentially. So just be aware. This is so typical of PayPal. Any time that they think that they're gonna, let's say, lose money, or there's some type of risk, and they don't want to deal with it, they will suspend your account, shut down your account, or anything like that. It's just, and they can just do what they want, really, because it's not like a bank account. Even though you think it is like an account, they can close down your PayPal, or suspend those funds or anything, and you got nothing you can do about it. It's not like going to your bank, and because your bank shut down, you can at least go to your bank and take your money out generally, and then put it into another bank. But with PayPal, you can't do that at all. So that was pretty bad news, but sort of expected there. Another crap news. New York power companies are going to raise the rates for electricity on Bitcoin miners. So what they're saying there is we're going to work out who you are, and we're not going to give you any discounts on that. So this is just, this is US. This is not other places that I've seen, but they're not sort of encouraging the use of electricity for a Bitcoin. And what was funny, I did see figures on the amount of use for electricity in other industries, and Bitcoin is quite small compared to these other industries. So yeah, basically, if you're in the States, you can, and I don't think it's a very profitable mine anyway in the States. From what I checked the other day, there was a link with all the basically all the websites. Sorry, not websites. All the different countries with all the prices of how much it was. Venezuela was like $700 is how much it costs to mine one Bitcoin. Okay, with electricity costs, versus I think Australia was like 8,000 or something like that, or even 10,000. So you wouldn't make any money here in Australia. And yeah, so basically in that list, when you don't get these cheaper prices because they're not passing it on, essentially there's no point in mining. So miners will have to go to different companies. No surprise there. Okay. More FUD. SEC is investigating more ICOs. Alright, so no surprise there. Apparently there's dozens being investigated. Now, maybe this is something to do why Ethereum is, going down pretty heavy. If you have a look at Ethereum, let's have a look at Bittrex, ETH against BTC. Let's have a look at that. So there you can see just massive drop against BTC. Not even against USD. We're talking against BTC. Just massive drop. Like, let's have a look at what this is. Is 8% there. So let's put that. That's on 1 hour. Let's just switch to 1 day. So as you can see, we've had this big move by Ethereum right up to, when was this? Probably February. And then since then, it's just been coming back down. Now, it could technically go, all the way down to 0.3. It has been that before. And in the past, it's even been lower. So basically, Ethereum's taken a big hit. And a lot of people are saying, I've been having a look at Twitter, basically saying that people are dumping out of perhaps they're out of ICOs, or they don't want to be holding on to these funds. I don't know how true that is, but they're definitely going to be issuing subpoenas for ICOs and anything that has happened in the past. So I say this is only going to affect the US ones, but US, and like from memory, I think there was something like in March there was like $2 billion. And then in February, it was like $1 billion raised. So there's a lot of money raised. So, the SEC might want to prosecute if they think it's basically if they can get money out of it. Simple as that. No giveaway today, Sebastian. But thanks for asking. Okay. So let's close that one down. Let's see what else we got here. CoinText. This is from CoinText. ABRA. Didn't even know about this one. I came across this one the other day. ABRA. I don't know if it's been around before. Just see if it can bring it up. Here we go. Invest in Bitcoin, Ether, or crypto in the digital wallet app. So you can apparently buy, store, and invest in 20 cryptos. Download the app. Haven't downloaded the app yet. Because I was trying to see really what they're saying is you can, like, I was wondering how you would fund it. And from what I can, like, they do provide some ways to fund it, but I checked not all countries are included in there. I think there was only, let's have a quick look at the FAQs. I think there was only a couple of countries that were supported for depositing. Let's check that out. And also they said they had, what was it? They had there's 20 available crypto exchange your funds, multiple cryptos, but the fiat, there's like, they had a lot of different fiat that you could do. I'm just trying to find where that page is. Let's have a look here. Try that again. Depositing and withdrawing. So I think if you, I think it's only for the US and maybe one other country. Yeah, I think it was US and Philippines at the moment. So they might be doing more, but at the moment that's all they had. But you still could get, you could still transfer coins into it. But at the moment, I'm not sure if it readjusted your portfolio. I was just trying to find where that is, because at the moment, like, I couldn't see what the benefit was, but I'm sure there was something about, I mean, it is good that it's got 20 cryptos, but you know, Exodus has got a lot as well. Okay, they're talking about exchanging between digital currencies. Yeah, that's nothing special. Yeah, I'd have to find more about that one. I'm sure it had something about rebalancing the portfolio or doing some interesting things with smart contracts, but I'm not 100% sure on that one, so I'll have to find out a little bit more. But I wasn't even aware of this one, so I thought, oh yeah, it says 50 fiat currencies as well as credit cards and bank transfers. Now, and it also says if you want to keep your balance in fiat currencies, it uses stable coins with smart contracts to offset crypto price volatility. So I don't know, it sounds pretty interesting. I have to maybe just try it out and let you guys know about that one. So I thought I'd share that one. And what else we got here? I saw this one here on Twitter. I thought it was funny. This sums up probably the last 3 months. So December, it was like a Lambo. January, I don't know, it looks like a Ford Focus. February, we're like just getting this little baby scooter. And in March, they just circled that little Hot Wheels toy. Yeah, I just thought that was fantastic because that's where a lot of people, they're not even thinking about the Lambo, they're just thinking about the little toy. So I thought that was classic. All right, and I wanted to bring this one up again. I think I shared this a while back. Some people might disagree with this, but I feel that this is important. So if you are trading or investing in crypto and you target for taking your initial investment out and playing afterwards only with pure profits. So for example, let's say you put $1,000 into something and all of a sudden you're 5x. I encourage you to take that $1,000 out that you put in initially. It depends on what you're doing, but if you take that $1,000 out, the original money that you've risked for that investment or for that trade, you've now got back. Now, you could argue that the rest of it's real money as well. But when you take back the funds that you put in, okay, the funds that are there are that are left, basically are left in the market. So let's say you've taken out, it's went 5x and you've taken out your initial investment. You've still got a lot of value sitting there. If it goes up, you're going to make more money. But the thing is that once you get your money back, you feel a lot more comfortable with your trade, and then you can move on to another trade and leave that there. And then if it goes up, you can sell some more off. If it goes down, it's not going to affect you as much, I believe. And personally, I've seen this from my experience. When you've got something for free, it doesn't matter if it goes down value because you're waiting for it to go up in value. And if it waits over time, it's just like getting free money, I suppose. And then just getting your initial investment back. So playing with free money is a cure for your trading with emotions, especially negative ones like panic. I would agree with that. And you can't always, get your money back straight away. Like if you're only trading 10, 20%, obviously, you've got to try and get your whole amount back and a little bit left in the market. That's true. But it helps if you, doing 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, which some of the ICOs we're getting into were like that. A little bit more difficult when you're trading normal coins. You can sort of hope for a double or a triple when you're trading. but more often than not, it's less percentages than that. Most importantly, you need to get back the investment that you put in, and that's something to remind people of. So next time that you're up and you're maybe 2, 3, 4, 5x or something ahead, you really are ahead, take out your initial investment and then leave what you've got left in there, and that should help you out with your emotions trading. So I just thought I'd share that one again. All right, what else have we got? All right, so let's click on this one. This is a website I only come across tonight, cryptoinfluencers.io. Okay, so this one is a ranking. So apparently it comes from Twitter, and it's for crypto. So I'm not sure. They must scan Twitter, find all the people, all the influencers. Now I think there's maybe 300 possibly. I don't know the full list, but basically there's 300 here, and they're all ranked according to how many followers they have. So if you are interested, you can check out Twitter. Now, some of these people I've never heard of, and some of them I'm going to check out and follow. So, like I follow Roger and Charlie, Andres, who else? Eric Voorhees. So there's a few here that I haven't heard of, don't know what they are involved with, but they've definitely got a lot of followers, and maybe they've got some really, they've obviously been in the space for some time. So you can check out that. I think that's worthwhile because it's always good finding out what's happening. Like Twitter seems to be a really good place for certain people. There might be a lot of misinformation or whatever or stuff like that, but generally from the these people that have the information they got's generally pretty good, I think. Some would argue that maybe that's not the case, but hey, it's pretty valid though. It's better than some of the news places for getting the news. So that's good. And what else was there? Alright, and Sinjin wants me to talk about the OX project. Well, I don't know too much about it. I do remember when it came about. It was actually before I really got involved in the ICOs, because I remember it was... I'm just trying to find it. That's not it. We'll just go to CoinMarketCap. We'll have a quick look. And then I think we'll finish up shortly. OX, I think. No, it's not that. What is the OX? Try 0x. There it is. So it's ranked 52. We're at 40 cents, down 20% today. It has went up to probably around about $2.40 in the past. So, it could definitely go back up to where it was. If the market goes back up, that's for sure. So there's definitely room for it to go. So let's have a quick look. Most of the volumes trade on Binance. I think their website, if I remember rightly, they like a blockchain protocol. And a lot of these protocols, these blockchains, they do take a while before people get on board with them. It's not something that happens immediately. So more and more people are basically using the platform. So these are the projects that are building on OX, and they've got all the different ones there, and they've got a full list as well. And essentially, the more and more people they get on their blockchain, okay, the more that's going to help. It's a bit like with Ethereum. The more users that use that platform and do their ICOs, it's going to increase it. Now, I know it's tanked right now, but it's just the way the market is at the moment. But overall, Ethereum essentially, with this protocol, these blockchains are all trying to do the same thing. They're trying to attract developers and users to use those platforms than to use other different platforms. Okay, that's what it's about. So I don't know too much about it. I might do some more research on this one, but I imagine they would have similar things to some of the other ones. Okay, cool. But I will find out some more info on that and update you. All right. I think that's about it. I think that's all I wanted to cover. Just a quick sort of update. And just having a look at this little message here. So I wish I had kept my 1700 BTC at 6 cents instead of selling them at 30 cents now that they're $8. Yes, that's right. So you know, you got to be, I suppose it's your long-term play. If you think that crypto is just sort of like a fad and is going to completely collapse, you know, maybe you shouldn't be really in the market. But if you believe that blockchain and the technology and crypto along with it is going to be, you know, just change the world, and you can see that it's been going on for 10 years, more every year. There's more and more people, there's more and more projects, and there's more and more money is flowing. And one thing's for sure, that these crypto products, these coins, these tokens, they have a limited supply, okay? Unlike fiat, okay, because they are created just and backed by governments. That's all it is. We got money, it's printed on paper, it's worthless, and the government says this is worth $5, this is worth $10, this is worth $50, $100, and then we go around and hand them out and get paid in them, and we accept them, and that's how it works for our country, and same with your country. And then the only time that's different is when we go from one country to another, and we're on, you know, exchanges, okay, for the foreign currency, forex trading. So, you know, basically, this sort of thing here, if you sort of look at the market where we are now, there's still no reason why it's not going to go a lot higher. And the reason is there's still a fixed amount of, let's just say let's say not the whole market, let's just say Bitcoin. This fixed amount of Bitcoin, okay, because it's the leader in the market. Fixed amount, and it's going to be a scarce thing, okay? And if basically fiat is sort of opposite, it can be, you know, diminished in a lot of different ways, and essentially it's the opposite to fiat, okay? Similar to gold, and a lot of people, you know, are getting into it from gold as well, and, you know, going into crypto. So I think it's going to get much bigger. It could be, you know, another 10x this year, but, you know, don't know exactly when that's going to happen. But when it happens, you just got to be prepared for it. But you also, if you can, you got to try and get in now while the prices are cheaper. Just like it would have been good to get in a year ago when it was $1,000 for Bitcoin, and it would have been good to get in the year before that. So you just got to look at it that way. If you're looking at, you know, 1 month, 2 months, or even 3 months, if you're looking at the last 3 months, you probably wouldn't last long in this space, okay? So it helps if you take a longer term approach. All right, so I just thought I'd share that with you. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover tonight. I think that's about it, and no, that's good. So I appreciate everyone on board tonight, and I will catch you tomorrow night. We've got our ICOs. That's on tomorrow night, Monday night. So I'll probably be doing an early one and a short video tomorrow. So hopefully I'll catch up with you guys then. So if you are new to the channel, you can always like and subscribe. Just hit the thumbs up, and also hit the bell icon if you want to get notifications. That'd be great. All right, and you can always join the Telegram group. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. So you can click that, and also you can talk to others. It's just free to join, and I'll be sharing information in there that I'll be talking about. And also, if you've got any additional questions, just put them in Telegram where I can talk to you about them. Okay? No worries. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.